Hello children. So today in this module, we are going to discuss the topic invitation and replies. Now invitations, we all know that these are a very important part of social dealings. And we also know that there are two types of invitations. The first one is formal invitation and the second one is informal invitation. Now children, let me explain you how we can write formal invitations. Formal invitations can be written in two ways. It can be printed in card form or it can be written like a letter, or we can call it can be in a letter form. Now informal invitations, when we talk about informal invitation, can only be written in letter form. So please be clear with this children that formal invitations can be written in card form and letter form both, while informal invitation is written in only letter form. Now, let me explain furthermore what exactly formal invitations are and how we can draft them. So, formal invitations are formal letters. They can be printed on cards or can be drafted in the form of social letters. Formal invitations are formal and polite, pleasant, and courteous. Now, further, formal invitations, as I told you earlier, it can be of two types: printed invitation cards, where you invite guests to be present on a particular occasion. Such invitations do not include the name of the addressee. And the second one is children formal letter. So this invitation is drafted in the form of formal letter, which is addressed specifically to a VIP whom you are inviting to preside over a social or cultural and educational event or function. So, children, I hope you must have understood that printed invitation cards, the card form invitations, are meant for many guests. You get that? Where you do not mention the name of the particular guest, rather, it is a general card which can be sent to everybody, and the name of the guest is mentioned on the envelope, not in the card. Is it clear? I hope that must be clear to you all. While formal letter is addressed to one particular person, right? And it is specifically written in case when we are requesting a VIP or somebody to preside over an event of your institution, whether it is social, cultural, or educational event. When you request somebody to be the chief guest or the guest of honor of that event, so then we write a formal letter. Now, printed card form invitation. Let me tell you something more about it. So, what are these printed card form invitations? These are meant for a lot of invitees, as I told you. We mentioned name of the hosts in this. Formal phrase of invitation, for example, request the pleasure, your benign presence, seeking your auspicious presence, solicit your gracious presence on the auspicious occasion. Date, time, and venue of the event is mentioned here. Occasion or reason of the invitation is also mentioned in this card form invitation. The next point is that it is always written in the third person. In case you are inviting a VIP to be the chief guest or the guest of honor, the name of that chief guest or VIP must be put prominently on your card. Now it's written in simple present tense. The abbreviation RSVP, this term, which is actually a French term, it must be used, and it is put on the left hand side below in the corner with name, address, and phone number of the host. The entire invitation, this card form invitation, it is put into a box. The very important point is that do not exceed the word limit, and the word limit is 50 words. Now here is a sample. So you can see that first we have mentioned the name of the host, the principal, staff and students of Lovely Public Senior Secondary School. Next comes our invite line. Cordially invite you to. After that comes the occasion. So what is the occasion? The prize distribution ceremony. Now we have to mention children, date, time and venue. So you can see on Monday, December 7, 2020 at 5 p.m. in the school auditorium. So we have mentioned here date, time, venue also. Now, like I told you that if you are inviting a chief guest, and as this is a school function, a prize distribution ceremony, then definitely there would be some chief guest invited. Okay, so we are going to mention the name of that chief guest on the card. Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi has graciously consented to be the guest of honor. And now on the left hand side in the corner, we are going to write RSVP, vice principal, and the contact number, the name of the host and contact number. Now I am sharing another sample with you all here where hosts are inviting people for the inauguration of their shop or general store that they have recently opened. So you can see how it's been drafted. In the beginning, it is Shamlal and Sons, the name of the host, announced the opening of Galaxy Novelties, right? A general store in Geetanjali Enclave, Preet Vihar, Delhi, inauguration. So you can see inauguration mentions the occasion. Before that, we have mentioned here in Geetanjali Enclave, the venue. On Sunday, December 6, 2020 at 11 a.m. time and date. All are cordially invited. Okay, so here you see this is the invite line. Visit for grocery and domestic items. RSVP, Galaxy Novelties and contact number. Another card form invitation, a sample of that is given here, children. You can see that. Okay. Now the next one is formal letter form invitation. So we are done with formal card form invitation. Now we are coming to the point of letter form invitation, that how we are going to draft an invitation which is formal and which is in the form of letter form. So obviously, like it is mentioned here, that it should be formal letter form. Okay, so it would be written in the same manner like a formal letter. So first I must make it clear that it is meant for an individual, a formal letter of invitation. So the second point that we have to keep in mind is that when we are drafting it, first we will mention sender's address. It also includes the address and name of the invitee. Here, unlike card form, we are going to write grammatically correct and complete sentences because we are going to write it in paragraphs. Then occasion, date, time and venue, it must be mentioned in the letter. The tone should be formal, polite and courteous. It is written, finally it is written in form of a formal letter. So I'm going to show you the sample of a formal letter form invitation so that you can understand how to draft a formal letter form invitation. Now here you can see, children, first comes sender's address, then is your date, then receiver's address, here the subject, invitation as chief guest, then you're writing dear sir, salutation. After that, in complete and grammatically correct sentences, you are mentioning the reason, the date, time, venue, and occasion, everything to the chief guest whom you are inviting. And finally, you are writing this line of, it would be a privilege if you consent to grace this occasion with your esteemed presence. You are, inviting them, and then your subscription. So this is how you are going to draft a formal letter form invitation. So children, we discussed till now formal invitations. First, card form invitation, and then formal letter form invitation. I showed you the sample also, and I told you what are the important points. Now, formal reply. Now, replying to an invitation, we all know that it is an essential courtesy. It is written for two reasons. The first reason is to appreciate the host's kindness in inviting you to the occasion, and the second is to let the host know whether you will be attending the function or not in order to enable her or him to make arrangements accordingly. So that is why we write formal reply. Now, what are the points to remember? First, a formal reply is usually very short, it is brief and to the point. Second, it must be pleasant and courteous. Whether accepting or declining the invitation, your tone must be courteous. Third is formal words like kind invitation, great pleasure, regret, etc. must be used. Next point is you must always use third person pronoun they instead of first person I or we. The next point is address. If address is mentioned in question, the address of the writer, then only the address should be mentioned there in the formal reply. So now children, I'm going to give you a sample of this formal reply. So you can see the question here. Mr. and Mrs. Dixit have completed 25 years of their married life. On the occasion, they have invited you for a dinner party on 25th August 2021 at their residence. Your Kapil Bajaj write a formal reply declining the invitation. So now at first we are going to write the date, August 10, 2021. Then we're going to leave a line. And as mentioned earlier, we are going to write the entire reply into third person pronoun. Mr. Bajaj thanks Mrs. and Mr. Dixit for their kind invitation to attend a dinner party on 25th August 2021 on the occasion of silver jubilee of their marriage, but regrets being unable to join on this auspicious occasion due to some prior engagement. Sincere thanks for the invitation and best wishes for a wonderful married life. Regards, Kapil Bajaj. Let's move ahead with another example. Now here you are Neera Kapoor, 19 Defense Colony. So you can see the address of the sender is given here. So you are going to use the address in this reply. So what you're writing? You're writing first the sender's address, then you're writing the date, and after that you will write your reply. Mrs. Neera Kapoor thanks the principal New Era Public School for inviting her as a judge for the debate competition to be held on Friday, January 18, 2021 at 10 a.m. in the school premises. She accepts the invitation with pleasure and will reach the venue at 9 a.m. to judge the event. So you can see how you are brief and to the point, and you are not writing anything extra here in your formal reply. Finally, regards and your or the sender's name here. Next is children informal invitations. So for formal invitations and replies we are done with. Now we are going to discuss informal invitations. Now informal invitations, they generally take the shape and form of personal letters. Okay, we use these to invite our friends, relative and dear ones with whom we have intimate or personal or friendly relations. So the tone and treatment of such invitations is relaxed, informal and friendly. Now, I earlier also told you that informal invitations are only written in letter form, right? And it is an informal letter format. Clear? It is written in the first person, Salutation is dear and name. Complimentary, when you are writing subscription, so you write yours lovingly, yours friendly, something like that. Date of writing the invitation must be given there. Sender's address appears on the left hand side. Various tenses used to suit the sense. So you can take liberty in your informal invitation, children, but it should be persuasive in nature, that you are pursuing the person to attend the invitation, to attend the event that you are inviting the person for. Now, let's check one sample. So you see here 25 MG Road, Mumbai. You are giving the address here. Then you are writing the date. After that, you are writing dear and the name of the person whom you are inviting, Rameshwari. Then you are writing the invitation: as the winters are approaching, I invite you to spend the winter break with me at my house in Mumbai. At the time, the weather here is pleasant due to sea winds. I will introduce you to my parents and close relatives. Kindly confirm your arrival by mid December. And see, subscription, yours affectionately, Pavitra. Now, children, informal invitation, I have just given one sample because it is simply written in informal letter form and you know how to write an informal letter. Okay. Now we are coming to informal replies. So, informal replies are acknowledging the invitation. Obviously, we are going to write it in first person pronoun only. Okay. Use second person for the sender of invitation. An ordinary informal letter form, this will also be written in the same manner. Mention acceptance or regret. Specify the reason in case of refusal. Use warm and simple language. Do not exceed the word limit, that is 50 words. So, children, I must tell you here whether a card form invitation, formal, a letter, formal letter form invitation, formal, informal invitation, informal replies, or formal replies. Please stick to the word limit, which is 50 words, and do not cross this word limit because else your marks are going to be deducted. Now let's see a sample of this. The question says, you are Akash or Varsha. You have been invited to attend the wedding of your friend's sister during summer vacation. Respond to the invitation, regretting your inability to attend it. So what are we going to do first is we are going to give it, write the address first, then we are going to write the date, then we are writing dear Neha, dear and the name of the person. Thank you for your cordial invitation on occasion of your sister's wedding. I, however, regret my inability to be with you on this happy occasion as we shall be leaving for Shimla for some prior engagement. Please excuse my absence. Do convey my regards and best wishes to the couple. Yours lovingly, and then you're going to put your name there. So you can see that how simply you can, write an informal reply to an invitation that you received. Now, let's take one more sample. You have received an invitation from your friend for dinner on 10th July 2021 at his residence to celebrate his success in class 12 examinations. Write an informal reply accepting the invitation. So you're writing here address, date, then you're writing dear Hemant, the name of the person whom you're addressing this reply. Congratulations, I'm very glad to know that you have passed your examination with 98% marks. I'll certainly come on 10th July at 8 p.m. to join the dinner. Yours lovingly, Mahesh. So this is another sample that you're writing for an informal reply.